God, I only just made this. It was flashing low. And I need to fill this right up because I've got a longer trip tomorrow. So I might as well just fill it up. It's thanks to you guys that I can do this without worrying too much. As you can tell from the flags, it's bloody windy today. But that's okay. I put a hoodie on underneath my old jacket. It's still too big. I'd have to wear 2 hoodies, maybe even 3 to actually start, like, you know, filling the gaps. But it's a little warmer. That's something. I do have a subject to talk about today. And I want you to share your stories with me of these situations. You'll see. So picture scene. If you remember, I'm wearing this jacket, which is the Hein Garrick one, which I defended for not having any broken zips. Well, it does have a broken zip that I forgot about. It's on the pocket. It's intermittent though. It works sometimes, and then sometimes it will just undo itself. You know, that sort of annoyingness. Oh great. Your car's healthy. So yes, the pocket on this is defective. I was coming back from dropping my other leathers off. I'd had my my wallet and my vape in my left-hand side pocket. Later that day, I tried to find my wallet and my vape, and do you think I could find it? I'd had to tidy up and everything earlier, so I was like, well, if I'd come across it, I would have put it somewhere, and it just made no sense. And I searched, and I searched, and I searched, and the realisation of, shit, I think the pocket undid itself, and the stuff that was in there fell out, and that means I lost my wallet, which has got my driving licence, my bank card, and it had like 30 quid in cash in it, and it had some other bits and pieces in there. And the vape pen is about 50 quid's worth of vape pen. Just more annoying. If I lost it, I would have to wait to get another one. So if I lost everything, it would have ended up costing me just shy of probably 80, 90 quid. So I was not a happy bunny. So at the point that I've realised it's already dark, and I'm like, shit. Right, well, given that it got dark quite quickly after I came in, I guess there's a chance if I go down the road, I might see part of the vape pen. Because it's, as I say, it's stainless steel, so it's very shiny. I thought that'll shine well, and when it hit the floor, it would have broken into lots of pieces. And if I can find that, I should find my wallet. So I made a video doing it. Whoa, nearly had a rat. Well, fuck, that's all I can say. Fuck, fucking bastarding, twatting, fuck, fucking shit, sticksing, twatting, cunt, fucking knob-wanking, dick-faced cunt, ulcerated, herpes-infected, rancid, dripping, fetid dickhead. I fucking hate zips. I said it was war. This is war now. This is war! So as you can tell, I wasn't happy. I was very annoyed with myself for forgetting the fact that there is a dodgy zip on this jacket. And then suddenly it dawns on me, you tidied. You closed a couple of drawers. You didn't. He goes to the second drawer down. Sure enough, there it is, wallet and vape pen. Oh man, am I happy. Am I also very pissed off myself? I don't very often lose stuff or misplace things because everything has its place. Like when I'm done with something, I put it back where it came from, or very close to. For instance, like I have a bureau for all my photography equipment. A bureau, no, it sounds how fucking posh do I sound. It's just like a cupboard basically with a work surface, and I put all my photography equipment, cameras and stuff in there, and then it means that I can always know where they are. And if I come in and I need to dump stuff, I dump it on the front next to it, so it's all there. It's not going to be, lost around the room. And while I was out searching, I was saying to myself, this is the most futile thing you've ever done. This pointless. You're actually just wasting more fuel here. You're never going to find it. And then it reminded me of a story from years ago. And this is where I'd like to hear your stories, the most crazy versions of things being refound, and just general sort of, when you may have gone looking for something and then actually found it. Did you do it? But here's one that I think will take some beating. I may have even talked about this in a video before now, but, I don't think many of the people that watched back then are watching now. There is some, but the majority seems these days to have a very different audience from one video to the next. But anyway, so I used to do some wildlife work. I'm not going to go into too many specifics because you could actually start hunting shit down. I used to do some wildlife work, and I was out doing some of this recording work at a location with a friend who also did this work. When I say work, I don't mean we were getting paid. It was basically we were doing it as a hobby because we enjoyed wildlife. I mean, my friend is an ecological surveyor, so for him it is kind of more like work, but it wasn't paid work, Jesus. But basically, because we would produce a report of what we saw, at the end of it, we got special access to certain areas. So one fateful night, we are in the car park at said place, and as you know from my Spicy110 Worlds videos, if you even know that that's a thing, or the fact that I used to be a wildlife photographer for like 10 years, semi-professional, not professional, and I've studied wildlife from my young age, I used to run a moth trap. Moth traps, by the way, are a way of humanely catching moths and releasing them the next day just to see what's around. Sounds boring, but there's 2,500 types of moth in this country, and I caught some pretty rare stuff in my time. But as I say, this fateful night, my friend brings down this moth that had unfortunately died in his moth trap, but it was very, very rare. He just found it at the bottom of the trap dead, so obviously it was exhausted, on its last legs. They don't last that long anyway. And he put it in a pot and he brought it down, and we were looking at it because it's something that he'd never seen before and I'd never seen before, and it was a bit annoying that it was to see it dead. It was the first example because they don't sit right, but whatever. And he opened the pot, and this moth is like probably a quarter of the size of probably half the size of a postage stamp, UK postage stamp. So, you know, about this big, about that big. Very small. Gust of wind blows it, we're in a car park, it's at night. It's gone. The next day, we were down that way again because we had to go back the following morning. We were there till quite late at night, went home, came back. Now, it was a windy night the night before, but it was very consistent in one direction, and he stood at the car and just looked in the direction that he thought the wind was blowing at the time, and walked over there, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm trying to find that moth. And I went, it's a moth. It weighs about 0.1 of a gram, if that. It's tiny. What's going on back there? What is that? That's going to be worth a few quid. Real 05. So yeah, so he's looking for it, and he found it. He found a moth 100 yards from where it was lost, blown by the wind, caught in a piece of grass. See, whenever I lose something, well, on the very few occasions I have lost something, I always keep the faith that it's worth going to look for it, because no matter what, you're going to have a better fucking chance of finding it than he did finding that moth. I want to hear the stories of times that you lost something, went looking for it and found it, and I want to hear the most extremes. But I think you're going to find it very hard to beat that moth story, because that was inhuman. How? I still don't believe it to this day. Like, I did call him out when you had another one die in the trap last night, didn't you? And he was like, no, I just found it. And I was like, you what? No, this isn't happening. Yes, I'm in Tesco's. I eat food, and if I do food shopping and make videos at the same time, I don't spend so much on fuel. It's called economising. It's not so exciting for you guys, but the weather's shit, so what am I supposed to do? Anyway, tell me your stories, and don't forget to leave a like. Wow! Charging. Well, just tell me it's already at 100%. It's amazing. I think what I might do is I might put some padding material or something in here so I can stick a device, you know, it's not going to get smashed around in there.